Good day to Finance Director of Successful Financial Analyst Baham and all coaches, where we are your financial analyst team, Xu Haoyu, Hu Tingyu, Zhang Baohan, and Chu Haohao. Today, we will present our analysis based on PPTUSA, focusing on Nestle Malaysia behind 2021 to 2024, performance versus benchmark Mr. DIY. Let's start with each member's role, then dive into the core background.
I'm Hu Tingyu. I will learn Module 2 Quant Financial Trends Comparison, walking you through key ratio gaps between the two companies.
Hi, I'm Zhang Baohan. I will cover internal factors in Module 3, Trend Analysis, explaining how business decisions shape the financial results.
This I'm Chu Haohao. I will complement Module 3 with external factors like inflation and policy changes that impacted both firms.
As a hoster, I will guide the floor, share Module 1's background, and deliver the final investment recommendations in Module 4. Now let's start with the Module 1, opening and core background. Our report's core purpose is clear: to assess Nestle Malaysia's financial performance over 2021 to 2024. And benchmark is against Mr. DIY, a leader in Malaysia's consumer products and services industry. Nestle Malaysia, founded in 1912, is a global food giant with iconic brands like Milo and Maggi. It maintains stable profitability from 2021 to 2023, but as we will see later, key indicators declined in 2024. Mr. DIY, established in 2005, is a top local furniture and building materials retailer. It boasts strong expansion, compatibility, and has kept the finances consistently stable, making it the perfect benchmark for sustainable growth in the sector. Now let's turn to the members who will take us through the Module 2, Quant Financial Trends Comparison.
Thank you, Xu Haoyu. Module 2 focuses on 5 key financial ratios, one from each dimension to revive performance traits and gaps. Let's break them down. ROE. Nestle's ROE was expansional in 2021 to 2023, hovering at 97.8% to 99%, far higher than Mr. DIY 32.1% to 37.6%, but 2024 was a turning point. Nestle's ROE dropped sharply to 78.6%, while Mr. DIY only fell slightly to 29.4%. This gap narrowed because Nestle's net profit was squeezed by rising raw material costs. Current ratio. Nestle's equity stayed stable with ratios between 1.1 to 1.24 over 4 years. 2024's 1.1 is its lowest, but still above the 1/3, meaning short-term asset cover liabilities. Mr. DIY has a 78% current asset ratio, so its liquidity is equally reliable. In inventory turnover ratio, Nestle's inventory turnover was stable at 13.69 to 14.66 times in 2021 to 2023, but dropped to 11.89 times in 2024. Mr. DIY maintaining steady turnover around 1.2 times, showing consistent operational efficiency. Interest cover range ratio in Nestle's interest coverage was high at 16.60 to 70.74 times in 2021 to 2023, then fell to 9.57 times in 2024, still enough to cover interest. Mr. DIY keeps stable coverage, reflecting reliable debt servicing ability. Divided yard. Nestle's yard peaks at 2.28% in 2023, but drops to 1.79% in 2024. Mr. DIY keeps its yard steady at 2.1%, a more reliable choice for income-focused investors. This ratios shows Nestle's strong 2021 to 2023 performance and 2024 decline, while Mr. DIY maintaining stability. Next, Zhang Baohan will explain the internal drivers behind these trends in Module 3.
Thanks, Hu Tingyu. Let's start with internal factors, business decisions that directly shape the ratios we just saw. For Nestle, 2024's decline stemmed from strategic misalignment. First, channel allocation. Malaysia's e-commerce FMCG sales grew 25% in 2024, but Nestle spent 30% more on offline promotions. leading to wasted resources and low conversion. Second, cost control. Unlike Mr. DIY, Nestle lacks the centralized procurement, so it absorbed the full 22% hike in palm oil costs. Its biggest input, so its credit, Nestle's 20% gross margin, stable for 4 years, and strong brand loyalty, Milo and Maggie's market leadership remain key strengths. Mr. DIY's stability comes from operational standardization. Its direct operational module controls costs. Staffing expenses stay at 9% of revenue, and unified product selections ensures 60% of stock is top-selling items. When expanding to new market, it tests pilot store first, avoiding Nestle's rush rural expansion mistakes. This consistency is why its ratios never fluctuated sharply. Now let's bring in external factors with Chu Haohang. These amplify the internal gaps between the two companies.
Thank you, Zhang Baohan. External factors didn't cause Nestle decline, but they made it worse. First, inflation asymmetry. Malaysia's food inflation hit 5.8, and Nestle couldn't pass all costs to consumers. Malaysia's Price Control Act kept it hiked for staples like Maggi at 5%, forcing it to absorb 70% of the cost increase. Mr. DIY, which sells non-food items, faced no such restrictions and passed 80% of hikes to consumers. Second, monetary policy. Bank Negara Malaysia raised interest rate from 1.75% to 3% in 2022 to 2023. This increased Nestle interest expenses by 43%. But Mr. DIY with low debt barely felt the impact. Third, channel shifts. E-commerce became critical for FMCG, but Nestle online sales only account for 12% of revenue. Mr. DIY avoided this risk. 80% of its sales are in store, as consumers need to inspect hardware products in person. In short, Nestle operated in a more volatile subsector, and its internal decision didn't mitigate these external risks. While Mr. DIY niche and strategy kept it resilient. Now over to Xu Hao for Module 4. Conclusion and investment recommendations.
Thanks to Zhang Baohan and Chu Haohang, based on our analysis, background, financial trends, and internal external factors, we have 3 key conclusions. Nestle Malaysia has strong fundamental strengths, a 112-year brand legacy, market-leading products, and a stable 30% gross margin. 2024's decline is not permanent. It's driven by fixed issues and external pressures. Mr. DIY is a reliable benchmark for stability, but Nestle offers high long-term upside and adjusted strategy. Our final investment recommendation is short-term hold 6 to 12 months, long-term buy, short-term wait for clear signs of improvement. Specifically, Nestle growing its online sales to 50% plus and centralized permanent procurement to cut input costs. Long term, Nestle's brand loyalty and market position can drive IOE back to 90% plus once issues are fixed. For investors willing to wait, it offers firms Mr. DIY steady but lower returns. To summarize, Nestle is a strong company facing short-term challenges, while Mr. DIY is a safe bet for immediate stability. Our recommendation: balance risk and reward. Hold on, hold now, but later if Nestle executes its fix. Thank you for your attention.